Alexa Bliss and Tiffany Stratton are two of WWE's most captivating stars, each with a distinct presence that has shaped the women's division. Bliss, a multi-time champion, is renowned for her masterful character work, shifting seamlessly between charming babyface and sinister heel while always choosing her words with precision. Stratton, the self-proclaimed buff Barbie and current WWE Women's Champion, exudes confidence and athleticism, never hesitating to boast about her abilities. Their paths collided recently in a way that has set the wrestling world abuzz, as Bliss dropped her usual calculated demeanor for raw, unfiltered comments about Stratton. These remarks, shared both in the ring and on social media, have sparked speculation about real-life tension, a shift in Bliss's character, or a calculated move to shake up the women's division. This article dives into what Bliss said, why it matters, and the potential fallout, while also exploring the rich history between Bliss and another key player in this drama, Charlotte Flair. On the May 23, 2025, episode of Smackdown, Alexa Bliss made a bold statement. She confronted Tiffany Stratton, vowing to win the upcoming Money in the Bank ladder match, which grants the winner a championship opportunity at a time of their choosing. Bliss didn't stop there, she declared her intention to cash in on Stratton, putting the reigning champion on notice. The exchange escalated when Charlotte Flair, a dominant force in WWE, joined the fray, trading barbs with Stratton ahead of their own Money in the Bank qualifying match. Stratton, unfazed, dismissed both Bliss and Flair as vintage, positioning herself as the new standard-bearer for the women's division. She argued that while Bliss and Flair had defined women's wrestling for years, she was here to upgrade it. Bliss didn't let the jab slide. Taking to Twitter, she fired back, rejecting the vintage label and calling Stratton a cheap imitation of herself. Her exact words were, "Funny being called vintage by a cheap imitation." Smackdown #BlissInTheBank. The tweet was a rare glimpse of Bliss speaking candidly, devoid of her usual polished promos. Fans and analysts immediately began dissecting the comment, wondering if it signaled genuine frustration, a new edge to Bliss's character, or a strategic move to build hype for Money in the Bank. The timing of her remarks is significant, given WWE's inconsistent booking of Bliss in recent months. After being sidelined by up-and-down storylines and a lack of clear direction, this outburst could reflect Bliss's exasperation or a deliberate pivot to a more aggressive persona. The wrestling community is buzzing with theories. Some see this as a sign of real-life heat between Bliss and Stratton, though no concrete evidence supports this. Others believe Bliss, a veteran known for her storytelling, is planting seeds for a compelling feud. Her comments could also stem from frustration with WWE's creative decisions. Bliss has been underutilized, with sporadic appearances and no clear path to the top since her last major storyline. Meanwhile, Stratton has been positioned as a rising star, her championship reign cementing her as a focal point of the women's division. Bliss's decision to call out Stratton so directly may be her way of reclaiming the spotlight, signaling she's done playing nice. The Money in the Bank ladder match adds another layer of intrigue. The lineup is already stacked, featuring former NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez, powerhouse Rhea Ripley, and rising star Julia, with 2 spots still open. The next qualifying match on SmackDown will see Nia Jax face Naomi and Jade Cargill. Given WWE's booking patterns, Nia Jax is a likely candidate to advance, as she's been consistently featured. Naomi and Cargill, however, are embroiled in their own feud, and WWE may protect Cargill's aura by avoiding a clean loss. This leaves room for surprises, as the final qualifiers could further shape the dynamics of the ladder match and Bliss's path to challenging Stratton. Adding complexity to this storyline is the teased alliance between Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. On the May 9 episode of SmackDown, Flair faced a hostile crowd that drowned out her promo. Backstage, Bliss approached her, suggesting they have a conversation, hinting at a potential partnership. This moment, combined with their confrontation with Stratton on May 23, suggests WWE is building toward a triangle of rivalries or even a temporary alliance between Bliss and Flair to counter Stratton's brash confidence. Such a pairing would be fascinating, given their shared history and contrasting styles. Bliss and Flair are two of WWE's most decorated women's stars, with a history that spans over a decade. Their first televised interaction came in 2014 on NXT, during a tournament to crown the inaugural NXT Women's Champion. Flair defeated Bliss in the semifinals, showcasing her early dominance. Later that year, in September, they clashed again on NXT television, with Flair once again emerging victorious. At the time, Flair was already on a trajectory to stardom, while Bliss was still developing her persona, struggling to find her footing in the competitive NXT landscape. Their rivalry reached a new level in 2017 at Survivor Series, where Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss faced SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair in a champion vs. champion match. The bout was a centerpiece of the event's brand supremacy theme, pitting two of WWE's top stars against each other. Flair won after locking in her signature figure 8 leg lock, solidifying her status as a top-tier competitor. The match highlighted their chemistry, with Bliss's cunning heel tactics contrasting Flair's technical prowess and athleticism. In 2021, their most significant feud unfolded over the Raw Women's Championship. Bliss, embracing a darker, supernatural character inspired by The Fiend and accompanied by her eerie Lily doll, engaged in a psychological war with Flair. The storyline revolved around Bliss using mind games to unnerve the confident champion, who dismissed Bliss's antics as childish. Their feud culminated at Extreme Rules, where Flair retained her title. In a dramatic post-match angle, Flair destroyed the Lily doll, a moment that deeply affected Bliss's character and led to her taking time off television. This feud showcased Bliss's ability to weave complex narratives, even if Flair ultimately came out on top. Beyond their singles encounters, Bliss and Flair have crossed paths in numerous multi-woman matches, including Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, and Survivor Series elimination bouts. In 2016, they were on opposing teams in a 5-on-5 women's elimination match at Survivor Series. In 2018, both competed in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which Bliss won, later cashing in to claim a championship. These shared moments underscore their parallel careers, often competing for the same prizes but with Flair frequently getting the upper hand in direct confrontations. Flair's dominance over Bliss in singles matches is a recurring theme. Whether in NXT or on the main roster, Flair has consistently bested Bliss in major encounters, a pattern that has frustrated some fans who see Bliss as equally talented but often overshadowed. Bliss, however, has thrived through her character work, using her versatility to remain relevant even when creative direction falters. Her ability to reinvent herself, from sparkly NXT rookie to malevolent goddess, has kept her a fan favorite, even as WWE's booking has occasionally failed to capitalize on her potential. The current storyline with Stratton and Flair feels like a turning point. Bliss's sharp comments about Stratton suggest she's ready to shed the constraints of her recent booking and reclaim her place at the top. The teased alignment with Flair, whether it becomes a full-fledged alliance or a temporary truce, adds another dimension. Flair, a perennial main eventer, brings legitimacy to any storyline, but her history of overshadowing Bliss could create tension if they team up. Meanwhile, Stratton's bold persona and championship status make her the perfect foil, a young, arrogant star who believes she's surpassed her predecessors. WWE's decision to intertwine these three women is a promising move. Stratton's rise has been meteoric, and her confidence as champion makes her a compelling antagonist. Bliss, with her proven ability to craft memorable characters, is poised for a comeback, especially if she channels her real-life frustrations into her storyline. Flair, as always, is the wildcard, capable of elevating any feud with her presence. The Money in the Bank ladder match will be a critical moment, not just for the winner but for the future of the women's division. If Bliss wins, her promised cash-in on Stratton could lead to a blockbuster feud. If Flair or another competitor claims the briefcase, the dynamics could shift, potentially setting up a multi-woman title picture. As a fan, it's hard not to be excited about this storyline. Bliss's return to prominence, her fiery exchange with Stratton, and the potential partnership with Flair signal a fresh chapter for WWE's women's division. The company has struggled with consistent booking for Bliss, but this feels like a course correction. Stratton's brashness and Flair's legacy provide the perfect backdrop for Bliss to shine, whether as a cunning heel or a determined babyface. The wrestling world is watching, eager to see if Bliss's candid words mark the start of a bold new era or simply a fleeting moment of frustration. Either way, this triangle of talent is must-see TV.